News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. This is the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. Our number is 800-288-WBAP. 800-288-9227. Okay, welcome to hour number 2 of the show. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know about you, but it has been a wild week. My wife sat on the tarmac for like 4 or 5 hours with my daughter until they finally got to Miami. They literally, I didn't check in. I had to go home from here. I didn't get out of here till 12:45. You know why? I was making reservations because my house, I was like, when I get home, is it going to even be power? Because if there's no power, I'm getting a hotel room, but but all the rooms were booking up. I can't speak for right now, but I can tell you last night, I went from before the show, it seemed like everything was open that I was looking at all over the Metroplex, where I'm at, and like north, south. And guess what? The ones I thought they look open on my app, when I waited until after the show. I was too busy trying to get the show ready because my life was appended for most of the day yesterday after the storm and everything. So I called and literally I got on I got into a place, but it was just filling up everywhere. Different versions of the different hotel I like to go to, the big one, the individual one for, long term, all that stuff. So here's what I did. I got a thing, and they do have exceptions for this weather, for severe weather and emergencies and stuff. So they're like, yeah, we'll let you out of anything whenever it happens, and it won't pay a penalty if you book your reservation for 4 nights and you only use 1 or 2. So I booked, went home, and sure enough, it is apocalyptic in my neighborhood. I'm not trying to overstate it. I know these are first world problems. By the way, I want to hear from you too. Before I go to my spiel, I want you to call in and tell me what your life is like right now. And it might be fine, but you also might be seeing things. Are you without power right now? Like I still am. How bad is this? How bad and how scary is it? It doesn't mean it's bad and scary as in like, but I'm just saying, when I went to my place at night, it was scary. Here's why. There was not a dang sound. And I did not get to my house till probably, I don't even know. Honestly, I have no idea. But I stopped in my neighborhood somewhere in the 1 hour, maybe late 1 o'clock. I honestly don't even know. But my point is this. There's 2 guys in a truck, and it looked like Encore, and I went up to them. And it was 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't even know. But they were, of course, worried. Like, what the hell is this guy going to do? He's going to yell at us or something? Anyways, they had the little lights on and everything. They're flashing lights. So I just went up and I said, hey, from afar, so I didn't scare them. And they saw me. And I just said, hey, I know you don't know. But just can you tell me anything? Like, what do you honestly think for time? He said, well, look. And they were from Alabama, from a power company from Alabama. They're bringing them in all over the region. He goes, see that right there? And it was an alleyway. It was full of trees on the ground everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that because it's dark. There's no lights on, no street lights, no nothing. And I said, yeah. He goes, there was a do not come in, sign, like police tape type sign. And they said that whole alley down there and this whole side and the other side of this alley, on the other side of the road, the lines are down totally. He's like, the whole lines need to go up and they need to get the trees out of there. I said, oh my gosh. He said, and the same thing is a block right there, closer to my house. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had at least 2 full alleys from left to right. God knows how many houses, 5, 10, 15 houses. I don't know what, filled with trees and lines down. So, you can't have that. People can die like super. It can cause fires, and you can have a whole neighborhood on fire. In a metropolitan area, you can't do that. You can't do that anywhere. So the point being is everything's down. I still have a tree on my house, but I go to my house. It is eerily quiet. It is like, I feel like the apocalypse. And I'm not trying to overstate this. You can laugh at me. It's fine. I don't care. I'm not whining or crying. But I'm just saying that it was like the apocalypse because you can see, you have night vision immediately. You open the door and it's like totally, totally dark. There's no lights anywhere. There's no sounds. And people are in their houses in my neighborhood. I know for a fact. I know my neighbor on both sides. And it's like I'm getting that song Don't Fear the Reaper in my head from the Stephen King's The Stand. And then what's also crazy, I thought my cat, I don't care about the cat, but I do because it's my daughter's and she loves it. And so I care about her. So therefore I care about the cat. But this cat was possibly outside, which they only do that during the day. I don't want them to. I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, this is your problem. They weren't sure if it was in the house because they can never find it. You know how that works. They hide. And so I came home and it was not coming out at me. It doesn't call or, anything. So when you come, so I walked around with the flashlight. I could not find that dang thing. And then I literally let the dog out in the backyard, which is pitch black with tree branches everywhere, some big ones too. And, the dog does her thing. Meanwhile, I got the light everywhere. I got a massive cop light type thing, and there's no freaking cat. I'm waiting to find a big lump of black fur. I don't want to. I'm terrified for this poor thing with my daughter, and so there was no cat. So I literally was trying to tell my daughter, who they didn't even get to Miami for her father's issues that she's dealing with her and my daughter going there. They didn't get there till I swear to you, they didn't get that touchdown till 3. They didn't check into the hotel till 5. My wife called me at 5. I did a freaking late night sort of workout at 4 in the morning. I was a freaking animal. I was like, because I don't care. My wife's not complaining. She goes, oh, you're not going to do that. Yes, I can do whatever the heck I want by myself with my little dog, my 5-pound dog, and we're in a little hotel. It was a little 4-star, kind of a little bit of luxury. And anyway, I had to pack, and dude, you know what it's like to pack a freaking CPAP? In the dark. And how do you pack up everything when you're going to go with your stupid stuff and you're going to go to your hotel and you're going to go the hotel somewhere in this area where I work by the AAC. So if I forget things, I'm screwed. I'm not going to drive back home. It's not 5 minutes. So I pack as much as I can. I realize if there's more, screw it. The bellhop can carry it. I don't care. I literally don't care at this point. I got to feed the cat, feed the freaking lizard. We have a freaking gecko. What the heck, right? It's my daughter's, of course. Ain't mine. Cat wants to eat the gecko. You have a cat and a gecko left alone in the house with no power. What do you think that cat wants to do? Eat the crap out of that gecko. Every time that gecko gets fed, the cat comes in there and she's ready to kill it and eat it. Every freaking time. Fat tail. She wants to eat that fat sausage tail. But there's a little latch thing. You can't get it without that. At least the cat hasn't been able to get so yet for a year or so, too. So this gecko with no power, so no heat. But the house is probably 85 degrees. You know what I mean? With humidity. So it's almost as good. The gecko ain't going to do well in my hotel room at 65 or 70 degrees. It's going to die. All right. So it's apocalyptic. The cat, I finally saw something scurry out of my left, out of the corner of my eye. I got my gat. And I got my little flashlight on my head, and I'm like, this is some zombies gonna come out of the corner. So no one, no nothing, no one came out, nobody complained. I was calling for the cat outside, and I got the cat, pet it, fed it, and gave her some treats. I was so happy the dang thing was in the house. I fed the stupid lizard, packed up my stuff. I didn't get out of there for an hour, and I'm like, this is a freaking disaster. And you know how easy it is for somebody to loot in my neighborhood? And I didn't see a cop. I need to call them non-emergency and tell them this needs to stop because we're a neighborhood and that whole thing, it's several blocks, a lot of people, probably 200 houses. I don't know, maybe even 400. Anyways, but you bust into the home, there's a lot of them there and they got guns in their home. They're going to blow the crap out of you in darkness. They don't care. They're going to shoot whoever walks to that door. Merry Christmas. So, are you without power right now like I am? How bad, how scary are things? And again, I'm not trying to overplay it was a freaking first world problem, but I understand. But listen, and what kind of things are you dealing with now and seeing? Is your insurance company screwing you over? I can't imagine. I really want to tell you, if you are getting screwed over by an insurance company, I'm so sorry. My insurance company had to see a picture of a tree on my house. Otherwise, they weren't going to cover it. Because that's how my coverage works. If the wind damage, I think, may not click it in. But tree on the house from wind does. And he's like, I need to see a picture. He wasn't mean to me. He's like, I can't release this and just go with everything until I see a tree on the house. By the way, I got $500 immediately on my refrigerators. Everything in my refrigerator is in coolers with ice. But dude, we're at 24 hours. I'm gonna be lucky if it survives the next one. And I feel horrible. I don't waste. I don't want to waste. I this is important money and food. My family and I do not waste. So I'm telling you, I don't want to. It pains my heart. I got 3 dozen eggs. A million things are in there, and I wanted to cook. I had to freaking take a lighter and light my stove, my gas stove with my hand. But I'm not going to be doing that when it's dark at 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? It's not. So I feel horrible. I don't want to waste, but there we are. And then how about food? How are you handling what's perishable? I mean, I will not just throw it out. But look, if it goes bad by tomorrow, I'm going to toss it. And then how good is your insurance taking care of you? What else is going on? Trees. Tree people. There's one tree person I saw on the news said she's got 1,000 calls that she's missed because she can't take them anymore. I mean, you can't get nobody. And the guy that did an estimate for me yesterday, who's my neighbor's guy, he came over, gave me the estimate, and he came over this morning and did my neighbor's house, and he ain't called me back today yet. I called him. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I got some neighbors, some people in my church that are now going to help. Most likely we can probably get most of this done. My roofer, which is my sponsor, reformationroofing.com, my dear friend Rob Vaughn, they were on my roof today. I got pictures, great report from them. And so you need a good roofer, and I can say that they're one of my paid sponsors, roofingreformation.com, Rob's friend. Okay, he was on last night. All right, here's what I want to do. I want to hear from you. What are you going through? Are you without power right now? How bad? How scary? At the hotel I'm at, there's like 5 staffers that I met. That's not all of them that are literally staying in the hotel that don't have power. Almost everybody in that hotel, no, a bunch of people. But listen, I'm telling you, a lot of these people, everybody I talk to in the elevator at breakfast, they all don't have power at the hotel. I'm telling you, there's probably, a couple hundred people in there with no power. And what troubles you the most or worries you with what's going down? What about your food, your insurance? Are they taking care of you or screwing you over? And what kind of things are you dealing with right now and seeing? And maybe you're fine, but you see stuff that's like, oh gosh. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. You know what else? I'm going to share next some stories from some people that have told me how amazing folks are that have stood up and helped out. My friend Julia from Soda, she's my dietitian. Soda's another one of my sponsors, Soda Weight Loss. Julia told me her story from who she's helped out. It's beautiful. All right, all that next. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I'm also going to give you a report from the officials as far as when they're saying power. I have from Encore. All that next. Well, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. This, of course, is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. Again, 800-288-WBAP is our number. And I want to hear from you on what you're going through right now. And it might, for the storm stuff, it might be nothing for you, but what you're seeing. And I might just be sharing a good story about what somebody has done for people that are suffering right now in this. And there's a lot of us. I shouldn't even say us. I mean, I am, but it's very nothing compared to most people. I'll just say that. I'm not trying to play a game here or milk it up because I'm not. But I still, I say us because I'm one of the people that still has no power and still has no internet. As of when I was at the house today, I had to come back with some traffic, obviously, in the afternoon, and then get to work from my hotel room, and then come in here, and then, it is what it is. But I was there for maybe 30, 40 minutes. And I'm like, yep, still no power, no this, no that. Take care of the animals, check everything, make sure the house isn't burning down, and then get out. And I got neighbors next door who literally do not have power and internet, and I think they don't have renter's insurance to go, and they're younger guys, and so I feel bad for them, but they're really great kids, and they're helping me out, and I help them out. They're real wonderful people. There's a lot of hope for humanity. They're former Air Force people. They're Air Force veterans. They're good people. Anyways, what about you? Are you out without power right now? How bad? How scary? What kind of things are you dealing with now? And what are you seeing? And what are the most troubles or worry? What most troubles and worries you? And how are you handling food that's perishable? And how good is your insurance taking care of you? How well? Because I think there's a lot of people that don't have good news. So our number, by the way, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Encore. When I woke up this morning, at least NBC5 on the TV showed it was 2:41 when I was eating my breakfast. I literally had like 5 hours sleep, which is very bad for me, but I still figured it out. Because when you're there and you're, on this crazy environmental situation where you're like, where am I? Get downstairs and I'm having my little breakfast and watching the telly, as they say in Britain. And then as 241,000 is kind of what I added up at the time. And as of right now, according to the Dallas Morning News, 230,000 without power. Encore says they expect a significant portions to be restored before the weekend. So do you understand? You may still have 230,000 people in the morning. Of like Friday, it's tomorrow. I don't even know what day it is. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday morning, you still could have almost 250,000 people without power here. It is what it is. I'm just, there we are. I worry about you, though. And by the way, they're saying the peak outages, there was 650,000 people without power. That's insane. They restored about 3,400. And by all means, what kind of damage did you see and do you have and what kind of damage you're dealing with? And I hope your insurance company is not screwing you over or maybe they're good. But by all means, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. So a little bit more on what Encore says here because I want to we all care about this. Encore previously said the extended outages were due to down power lines that would require complete rebuilding rather than simple repairs, and that's the problem. We had a lady from, I think, Scotland yesterday, or Ireland, that called in. She's been here for maybe 5, 10, 15 years, I don't know. She's like, what is wrong? She's like, I don't want to be mean here, but why is it taking this long? It's very simple. The number one reason that over the past 5-10 years as a broadcaster that I've read in the news articles, that is the number one reason why we lose power is because people don't call Encore to get their trees trimmed. And they don't want them to be butchered. A little old crazy lady stood up in her tree. It was on the news years ago. I played it on the air, and I ripped this woman to shreds. Some crazy old lady standing up in a tree with a BB gun telling she was going to shoot the Encore people if they showed up to butcher her trees that she loves. Woman, you're the exact reason why we have no power all over the place right now. You are the reason. Because I'm telling you, you drive through your neighborhood and drive up and down the alleyways. Just go 3 blocks in every direction. You're going to find 10 homes, between 5 and 10 homes that have their trees hanging over the power lines. It might only be 2 feet. Imagine with 80-mile-an-hour winds. The whole thing's going down. So I called, I'm just telling you, I called Encore. I beat the crap out of them for 3 months, and they finally showed up and did this like 4 years ago. I didn't have that happen. My trees collapsed, but it wasn't because of the power. Karen in North Dallas, you're on 820 AM and now on FM at 93.3 WBAP. Hello, Karen.
Hey, Chris. How are you doing?
Good. You just got power?
We just got power back on about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been praying.
Good.
And I went outside to get a little different perspective of being cooped inside all day.
Uh-huh.
And sitting there, and I'm going, Lord, it is a beautiful night out here.
It is.
And I no sooner said that, and the outside lights came on.
And let there be light. Well played.
Yes. I was clapping, and I said, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
You were clapping this.
Oh, Hercules, 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 Hercules.
Can you hold? I wanted to ask you a few questions of what you've gone through and what
Sure.
you've seen. All right, stand by, Karen. Plus your call, 800-288-WBAP. Cuppin, we've got power at her house. Don't know about mine, but when I checked around 4 o'clock this afternoon, nada. 800-288-WBAP, and there were trucks everywhere. There's trees everywhere still in my area. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. We're going to get to your call next. I'm also going to tell you how long food in your fridge is still safe after a power surge, according to the Dallas Morning News. Next. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Want to hear from you on... you're still without power. I was as of this afternoon when I went to my house to check. What do you say to, what are you going through? You without power? What kind of things are you dealing with right now? What kind of things are you seeing? What troubles you or worries you most right now? And how are you handling the food that's perishable? I don't know what to do other than I put ice. I was reading about dry ice, people getting dry ice. I don't know where the heck to get dry ice, man. I don't know. I have no idea where it is. What are you doing with your food that's perishable, and how is insurance taking care of you? I hope it is taking care of you well. Mine is, but that's why I pay, a premium, and I've been with them for 27 years or something. Karen, you have called in already, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit more. You're in North Dallas. You just got power, which I'm very, very happy for you. About, an hour or two ago?
It's probably about 8:45.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've had it a bit. Yeah. It was exciting. I mean, I've never screamed so loud. I screamed loud in my life, but not recently.
I know what you mean, though, because it's like, wow, let there be light. It's like, holy crap. So, did you stay there the whole time for like 2 or 3 days or whatever it is?
Yeah, I stayed here at my house.
Were you sweating to the oldies?
What?
Were you sweating to the oldies? I just mean I'm just saying, were you sweating like a Richard Simmons video, or?
No, I opened the window in my bedroom, and when there's a breeze, it's nice and it cools up. I don't go into any other part of the house.
Okay. Or
my condo, and I just sit in the bedroom, and that breeze comes right through that window, and it's fine.
Wow. Okay. And then you said you were noticing at night that it's like peaceful, and you can see everywhere almost.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just, when you went outside and looked, you could really see the stars really clear, and it was just really amazing, like being out in the country.
What it was to me, I saw the same thing last night as the stars, and I felt a little apocalyptic to me. Not scary per se, but like apocalyptic to me, because like it's quiet, it's dark, and there's no noise, no movement, and no light.
Exactly, and I haven't seen that in a great number of years. My dad, he lived on a farm, so when we went to visit my grandmother, that's when we saw all the amazing stars and everything and the constellations. So it brought back some good memories. How's
your insurance? Did they take care of you at all, or you didn't even talk to them?
No, I don't need anything because I really didn't need anything. So I just was eating things that I had in the house, and if it was in the refrigerator, I said, well, I guess it's a good time to eat up the leftovers right now. So
yeah, I feel bad. I'm going to have to throw away probably a lot, and I didn't want to. We packed it with ice, but what am I going to do? Bring it to the hotel with me? I have like 2 massive coolers. For food I can't cook, so I felt bad. But well, Karen, thank you. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad everything's good there. Maybe my house is back up somewhere where I'm at, but I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome, and you have a good show tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you, Karen. Great job. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. What are you going through with the storm right now? Good, bad, ugly, and how's your insurance treating you? Here we go. One listener says Kevy says still out in Mesquite. Zip code 75149. We see some of our neighbors across the street getting power, so hopefully our side soon. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. If you don't get power and everybody else gets it in your neighborhood, it's probably an anti-Trump thing. They figured you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be that conspiratorialist. I'm just kidding. Don't run with that. I'm just joking. All right, so that's what we got there on that. And then here we go. Food. USDA says keep your refrigerator and freezer doors closed for as long as possible to get cold temperatures. Food in the fridge will keep temperatures below 40 for at least 4 hours. Oh, dude, that's long past. And then milk, eggs, meat, already lost. Keep food cool. Ice chest, that's what I have. It doesn't prevent it from spoiling. Get bacteria on all food when the temperature is below 40. At that point, obviously. And then most fridges are set at 40. That's me. Bacteria even at low fridge temperatures. Okay. How long will it last in a freezer in a power outage? 48 hours. 50 hours with dry ice. That's not happening with me. That's sad. Once it's restored, in the freezer, once it's 40 or below, it's safe to be refrozen. But if it's above 40, it should be tossed. That's probably what's going to happen with me. More than 230,000 without power right now. Encore says about 235 as of Wednesday afternoon. and then 300 traffic lights still out, 122 flashing. I had that all over my neighborhood area, and for like 5, 10, 15, like no, I'm telling you, like I don't know, man, a couple neighborhoods, including when I got off the highway, like for the mile before I turned into my area at least, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like no lights working, all flashing red, and no street lights. One side of the highway was fine. Unfortunately, I'm on the other side. Oops. Encore said the outstanding power restoration will substantially complete by Friday evening. Harder hit areas Saturday. Woo-wee! What are you going through right now? What are you seeing? How's your insurance treating you? Is it impossible for you to get a tree person? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Here's some roofing advice, too. You don't need to rush. A lot of hail damage doesn't, cause you to leak or anything for a while. Know your deductible. A lot of deductibles have gone up. You think it's $1,000 or $2,000? Some are up to $5,000 without notice on you when it renewed. You got to be careful and don't just auto renew. Make sure it's still working. My insurance company is not shady. So whatever I picked before is what I'm going to get unless I have to be asked and I have to start over. But they don't mess with me, and they never would, which is why I stuck with them for all this time. You don't need to install the same product. You can get stuff that's a lot better for within your deductible. You know what I mean? Like you can keep your deductible, but end up saving by not having a deductible payout again if you have a storm in 5 years or something, because you get more advanced roofing materials, which is what I got. And Rob was telling me, Rob Vaughn, one of my sponsors from roofingreformation.com, I have the post up on my Twitter and Facebook if you want to check it out and give him a holler for your needs like I did, and I do. He was on my roof today. And he was saying, though, that the stuff now is just amazing compared to even the last iteration. Mine was put on about 7 years ago. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's even better now. Like better than what I have. And I had the good stuff, So I'm like, wow, okay, that's good to know. So that's another thing that would be beneficial perhaps with your, you can still get a better roof shingle and still be in your, quite possibly still be in your deductible area. All right. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Some pet stories I'll tell you about. I want to hear about yours. Oh, I forgot to say this. I want to tell you about some great stories from Julia, my nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss, another one of my sponsors. We talked today. And believe it or not, I'm still kicking butt and taking names with my Soda Weight Loss stuff, even while I'm in a hotel coming back and forth, driving over with like a chicken with his head cut off. Neighbors helping neighbors. I would love for you to share your story of that. By the way, I'll also share my spooky downtown Dallas homeless stories, like at night with no power. I was by myself in my car with my 5-pound dog and my gat at my side, as always, concealed carrying. And just going to my hotel, but it took me through a circuitous route, and I was in one of these areas where it's like a movie, where during the day you're a little scared to be stopped because somebody might come at you and jack you, but at night when there's no power, it was pitch black, and I'm underneath these big overpasses by downtown. And we're surrounded by everything that's dark. And there's homeless people walking around when they're coming out by the street. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting for somebody to jump in front of me and do something. So, and it's like a stop sign. You go 4 blocks, the stop sign, and there's nothing around. And I'm like, there's got to be so many homeless people underneath that bridge right there, or that overpass right there, and I can't see anybody or anything because it's on the side of my car. And I'm like, dang. So I put my brights on, and I'm driving around, and I'm telling you, I thank God I got this gun on me because I'm by myself. And all it takes is one person to jump in front and another person to come from the side. I don't know, man. All I know is you're downtown. You're having to stop every so often, and the speed limit's probably 30 or less, and it's dark everywhere. That's not a good feeling, And some of these areas, like 100 people or 50 people or 20 people in the cluster underneath the place. And I'm like, I also thought about the homeless people. I'm like, can you imagine being a woman under there? Do you know, remember there was like a tent city here in Dallas not too long ago, maybe 2, 3, 5 years ago or something. I can't remember. And before they busted it up, there were women. They interviewed, the Dallas Morning News went in there, I think it was, and maybe it was Channel 8, but they went in there and they interviewed everybody that they could, all the women, and every one of them said they've been sexually assaulted at some point. Some of them had said they've been raped. Because that's when they take care of each other, meaning whoever's the strong man can come in and rape you. And there's nothing you can do about it because you're in the middle of a camp and there's nobody watching you or nobody cares as long as you don't mess with them. Yeah, there's nothing good about these places. And yeah, every woman had said that they interviewed said they were sexually assaulted. Some said they were raped. There's people that die in those things. So I'm like, I do pray for them when I see them a lot when I go past them. But that was a little scary thing for me. And the dog's a hit. People pet my dog all the time because she's like 5 pounds. I'm like, that's nice. It'll help me get into something if somebody's being all nasty to me. Oh, look, you got a dog. Okay, come on in. Okay, good stories, too, about what people have done for you or others or something you've seen that was real sweet. Get those stories in, too. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. That's 800-288-WBAP. I'll give you some helping neighbor stories and some other good stuff. The other thing is we're going to get into coming up after that is grocery bills. Why do they feel so high, even though food inflation supposedly is technically low? And what about the inflation on our houses with the storm and insurance and our power that charges our homes, our hotel rooms that perhaps you and I are staying at or were, food at the restaurants, maybe we've eaten out a lot with the power out. How much has your grocery bills gone up every week? Because we're going to talk about that. And then do you agree when President Biden says grocery prices are so high because of greedflation? Brand new article that came out that totally disproves that. All that coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Well, Julia's my nutritionist at one of my sponsors, Sort of Weight Loss. And we talked today and checked in. And she lives not too far from the people that were killed on the tornado Saturday morning in Valley View. And so she, this kind of blew me away. She's like, yeah, we drove over there and we helped out. And I said, wow, because she doesn't know any of them or anything. And she doesn't even live in Valley View, She's a few towns over or something, not too far from there. And she's like, yeah, we went and helped. And I said, that's amazing. She said, well, I want to help them. And I would hope that people would help me too if there was an issue. So I thought that was wonderful to share. My friend Rob Vaughn, who owns Roofing Reformation, another sponsor of mine, he was on my roof today, but he was talking about there's a couple of families, two families that from their church. One was taking cover with the kids, and the roof was literally ripped off for that tornado that went down in that area. And he said that by the time he found out, he called over there, and the church had already went in, cleaned up as much as it was possible, and then got them accommodations. So they were already by that time they were already taken care of. He's like, wow, okay. He said, well, then that's good. So those are just a couple stories. And then on my personal level, my neighbor on one side, he sent me a thing and he called me actually. And that's when that first morning after the light went out, was it yesterday? Sun came on. I said, no, I think we're pretty good. I just see some trees in the backyard. And he's like, did you not see the tree that's on your house? I'm like, oh, come on. He's like, well, go look by your car. Just go look by your car. He didn't tell me the tree was on my house. He goes, just go look at that car. I'm like, what the? There's a massive tree that I'm like, are you kidding me? There's a tree on my house. I'm one of them now. Oh boy. So, and then the other neighbor on the other side, they're so sweet. They're these young guys, and they came over. One of them came over, and they got me ice. I was on my roof assessing, not doing the work because I don't want to kill myself or fall off the roof with these. I mean, I'm not going to work with a tree from the roof. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, I do little stuff, but nothing like that. I'm not going to take a chainsaw from it. I probably would if it was above the roof, but not there. Anyways, they go by and he stops. He goes, "Hey, we're getting ice. You want some?" So he got me like 2 things of ice, and he wouldn't take any money. I'm like, "Dude, he's a young guy." I'm like, "Thank you so much." And then the other guy helped me with the ladder to get on my roof and held it for me so I wouldn't die. You don't want to do that without them holding it for you. So anyways, that was there's some good young people out there that are working and helping. And so hat tip to anybody who's getting helped, and hat tip to those who are helping. That makes us a really wonderful community. And that's really the sweetest thing. And then I've got a guy from my church who I'm not in the Sunday school class with him. He just told me, he's like, "Do you still have those trees? Are they still up? And what do they got? Send me some pictures." And he and another friend from my church there are coming to my house with chainsaws. And then one of my former neighbors from my old neighborhood, who's my son's age, close to my son's age, he volunteered to help. He's going to come over. He came over with gloves. I'm like, "Well, not ready yet, because trust me, I got to go. And I'm not having you do any of this work while I'm not here. I don't want you to do that." So I got like 3 or 4, grown men who have already committed to helping, and that's really sweet. So if the tree guy takes too long, we're just going to freaking, because my Rob, my roofingreformation.com sponsor, Rob, was already there. They got the tree off the house. I came back and the tree was on the floor, on the ground now, which I'm like, "Oh, now it can be cut up safely." Wow, thanks, Rob. Because I didn't want to take it off the house. Because when you take that off the house, the way it was, I easily could have destroyed I could have made my house worse. Trust me, because it would have come down and nailed the roof again. So they did it in a way that didn't damage the house, which I wasn't there, but I'm grateful for that. Anyways, those are some of the little things, okay? Now, next, why grocery bills are so high, even though food inflation is technically low, supposedly, according to this article. Wait till you hear what food inflation has gone from 1.1% to what it's at now. It's disgusting. And then thinking about the storm, my car, how it's going to cost to be fixed from the tree scratched up my car. Thankfully, it's not terribly damaged. My house to fix it, homeowners insurance, my power, how much power costs, my hotel room, the food at a restaurant, the hotel, everything is touched by the disgusting inflation of Joe Biden. All that coming up next on the Chris Crock Show. I'll be asking you, how much have your grocery bills gone up every week? Do you agree when President Biden says grocery prices are so high because of greed? I've got an article disputing that completely that just came out today. And what are the worst places where you're feeling inflation? And how has it affected your personal and financial lives? What have you had to change? All that next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Our number is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227.